You have learned in Chapter 1 that green plants are the primary source of food for all living organisms on Earth. Chlorophyll present in green leaves traps the solar energy and converts it into chemical energy, which is stored as starch. We know that animals feed on plants or other animals that have eaten plants. Hence, they are called heterotrophs. Depending upon the food habits, animals are classified into following types.
Herbivores, plant eaters, example, cow. Carnivores, flesh eaters, example, lion. Omnivores, both plant and meat eaters, example, human beings.
We humans are omnivorous, eating different kinds of food from plant and animal sources. Food items like cereals, pulses, fruits, and vegetables are plant sources, while eggs, milk, meat, and fish are derived from animals. You have studied about these in class 6th. All of us enjoy eating food that is pleasant to taste. First food factory. It was about 3.5 billion years ago, bacteria-type organisms emerged on the earth. 2.2 billion years ago, cyanobacteria evolved that had the ability to use sunlight to break down water to make nutrients and release oxygen. In a chance encounter, an amoeba-like organism engulfed the cyanobacterium. The prey got incorporated in the captor's body, making it the mother of true chloroplast, the first food factory on Earth. Note the food items you eat in a meal and the principal nutrients they contain. Do they make a balanced diet? The components of food animals eat, such as carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, are complex solid organic matter. These are changed into simple soluble forms so that they can be easily absorbed in the body and provide nutrition. Animal nutrition is the process of intake of food and its utilization in the body for growth and energy. We human beings take wholesome food, and so do majority of animals. This type of nutrition of ready-made solid or liquid organic food is called holozoic nutrition. We shall study holozoic nutrition in some detail. Different steps of holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition involves 5 steps. These are: 1. Ingestion, process of taking in food into the body of animal from external environment. 2. Digestion, breakdown of complex organic food into simple soluble forms so that it can be absorbed by the body cells. Certain chemical substances, enzymes, help in the breakdown of these complex food. 3. Absorption, taking in of soluble nutrients by the body cells. 4. Assimilation, utilization of absorbed nutrients by body cells. 5. Egestion, removal of undigested waste products from the body. Ways of indigesting food in different animals.
Amoeba, engulfing particles of food by projecting out its false feet, called pseudopodia.
Paramoecium, sweeping the food particles by cilia bent along water current into a mouth-like structure. Hydra, entangling small aquatic animals and paralyzing the prey with special stinging cells and tentacles. Food is then pushed inside the mouth. Mosquito and butterfly, sucking blood or nectar by mouth parts that modify to form feeding tube. Frog, shooting out sticky tongue to catch the prey and immediately withdrawing the tongue into mouth.
Duck, filtering tiny food particles floating nearby in water through holes in the beak.
Human being, using fingers and hands to lift food into the mouth cavity. Holozoic nutrition in amoeba. Amoeba, a protozoan, is single-celled microscopic organism found in ponds, ditches, and canals. It constantly changes its shape by giving out finger-like projections,
Pseudopodia,
false feet that aid in locomotion and food capture. It feeds on microscopic plants and animals floating in water. Its mode of nutrition is holozoic, involving the steps of ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Let us find out how it takes place.
ingestion, Amoeba sends out pseudopodia to engulf the prey. The pseudopodia surrounds the food without touching it. Later, pseudopodia fuse at their tips to form food vacuole.
Digestion. Inside the food vacuole, food gets digested and is broken down into simpler substances by the action of digestive enzymes. Absorption and assimilation. Digested food diffuses into the cytoplasm where it is assimilated into the protoplasm. Egestion. The undigested food is expelled from the hinder part of the body.
Enzymes. Chemical substances that act as biocatalysts, that is, they speed up the chemical reaction. They remain unchanged at the end of the reaction. Examples are salivary amylase in mouth, pepsin in stomach.
Into the body of animal from the external environment so that it can be absorbed by the body cells. Certain chemical substances, enzymes, help in the breakdown of these complex food. Digestion in human beings. The digestive system of human beings consists of the following. Alimentary canal, a long continuous and muscular tube consisting of organs of varying diameter and shape. In an adult, it is about 9 meters long. It has opening at both ends and consists of following parts. A. Mouth. B.
Esophagus.
Food pipe. C. Stomach. D. Small intestine. E. Large intestine. F. Rectum. Digestive glands. Organs associated with the alimentary canal which secrete digestive juices into it. The different glands are A. Salivary gland. B. Liver. C. Pancreas.
The mouth cavity. Mouth is the opening of alimentary canal. Food is taken in or ingested into the mouth cavity. What changes take place when you put food in the mouth? You feel the taste of food by your tongue. Food is then acted upon by the teeth and saliva. The role of these may be summarized as follows. Teeth help in biting, chewing, and grinding the food. They also make the food soft and easy to swallow. The muscular tongue has taste buds on its surface that help us to taste food of different tastes: sweet, sour, salty, and bitter. The tongue also helps in moving the food in the mouth cavity so that it is properly chewed and mixed with saliva. Without a tongue, we would not be able to speak clearly nor swallow the chewed food. The saliva secreted by 3 pairs of salivary glands is poured into mouth cavity. It moistens the food and lubricates it so that food becomes easy to swallow.
Teeth. Our teeth give the shape to our face. They help us to speak clearly. They break the food into smaller pieces that is of help in the digestion process. 2 sets of teeth. Human beings have different numbers of teeth at different times in their lives. You had no teeth when you were born. They started growing when you were about 6 months old. They grew till you were about 2 years of age and were 20 in total number. These were your milk teeth, but these did not last for long. Around the age of 6, they probably started falling out. New teeth grow into their place from your gums. These were your permanent teeth. By now you all must have had your milk teeth replaced by permanent teeth. Have you tried to count them? See your reflection in the mirror with open mouth and count all your teeth. How many permanent teeth do you have now? If you lose any tooth of this set, you will not get any new one in its place. An adult has 32 permanent teeth.
Types of teeth. Following 4 types of teeth occur in an adult human.
Tooth decay. Bacteria present in the surroundings of teeth are the cause of tooth decay. If we do not keep our teeth clean, bits of food sticking to the teeth can cause growth of bacteria. The bacteria attack the sugar present in food and form a white film called plaque. Plaque that is not removed by proper brushing produces acid that dissolves the enamel, making little holes or cavities. This brings about tooth decay. Through these cavities, infection gets inside the tooth, and when it reaches the nerves, it causes toothache. Tooth decay results in bad breath, toothache, bleeding gums, and indigestion. Hygiene of teeth. Avoid eating too much sweets. Eat a wholesome diet containing abundant minerals. Brush your teeth daily in the morning and at night before going to bed. Use a dental floss for removing matter from places where toothbrush cannot reach. Visit the dentist once a year for dental checkup. Our mouth has salivary glands that secrete saliva. Saliva contains enzymes to break down the insoluble starch of the food into soluble sugar. This is the initiation of digestion. You can actually feel this change as you chew a piece of chapati or bread. It will slowly begin to taste sweet, which means that the starch of chapati is being converted into sugar. Starch is partially digested to sugar in mouth. The combined action of teeth and saliva makes food moist and soft so that it is easy to swallow.
Esophagus. When a portion of the food is chewed, the tongue helps in rolling and pushing it to the pharynx. From pharynx, food passes to a long tubular esophagus that runs along the neck and chest. No digestion takes place here. The food is gently squeezed downwards into the stomach by the rhythmic contractions of muscular walls of the esophagus. This type of movement is called peristalsis and occurs throughout the alimentary canal.
Stomach. The stomach is a J-shaped muscular bag-like structure. It lies in the left side of abdomen just below the ribs. Gentle movement of stomach wall churns the food. The wall of stomach is lined by glands that secrete protein-digesting enzymes, hydrochloric acids, and mucus. The secretions of these glands are collectively called gastric juice. Protein-digesting enzymes break down proteins into simpler forms. Hydrochloric acid kills many bacteria in the food and makes the medium in stomach acidic for digestive enzymes to be active. The mucus protects stomach wall from being corroded by the action of hydrochloric acid. Food remains in the stomach from a few minutes to a few hours depending on the type of food. Small intestine. The homogeneous, semi-digested food passes from stomach into the small intestine. Most digestion takes place in the upper part of small intestine. Here the food is mixed with two important secretions from liver and pancreas. Some enzymes are also produced by the walls of small intestine. The liver is a reddish-brown colored gland situated on the right side, just above the stomach. It is the largest gland in the body. It secretes a green liquid called bile. Bile is temporarily stored into a hollow pear-shaped organ, the gallbladder, attached to the liver. Bile is alkaline and helps to neutralize the acidity of food leaving the stomach. It also helps in breakdown of fats. Pancreas, a leaf-shaped gland present below the stomach, secretes pancreatic juice that act on carbohydrates and proteins, changing them further into simpler forms. The intestinal glands produce intestinal juice containing enzymes that complete the digestion of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Thus, digestion of food is complete, and carbohydrates are converted into glucose. Proteins are converted into amino acids. Fats break down into fatty acids and glycerol. Digested food in soluble forms is taken in through the walls of small intestine into the bloodstream. The wall of the small intestine has thousands of tiny finger-like projections, the villi, which increases the surface area for absorption of nutrients. Each villus has fine blood capillaries close to its surface. The nutrients pass through the intestinal walls into the blood through these capillaries by the process of diffusion. It is then carried to all the body cells for building of complex substances such as proteins and carbohydrates. Large intestine. Undigested food along with water moves down into large intestine. The large intestine is shorter than small intestine and is wider. It is about 1.6 meter in length and 6 centimeter wide. It absorbs water and useful minerals from the watery mass of undigested food remains.
The undigested food material becomes semi-solid and is then called feces. It passes through the large intestine and is stored in the rectum. It gets expelled out from the body through anus at periodic intervals. Nutrition in grass-eating animals. Grass-eating animals chew half-digested food and are called ruminants. They ruminate or bring back the swallowed food to chew it again. Observe the cows, buffaloes, and goats chewing continuously at rest even when they are not eating. All ruminants are herbivores.
Grass is rich in cellulose and difficult to digest. Many animals, including humans, cannot digest the cellulose. Then how do ruminants digest their food? Firstly, it requires more chewing. That is why ruminants have big chewing teeth with powerful jaw muscles. Ruminants have a unique stomach divided into 4 compartments: rumen, reticulum, omesum, and abomesum. The half-chewed grass is swallowed and it first goes from mouth to rumen, the largest of the 4 compartments. Bacteria and protozoa present in the rumen break down the cellulose found in grass. This half-digested food then goes into the second muscular chamber, the reticulum, from where it is sent back to the mouth as cud to be chewed again. This action is known as ruminating. Do you know? In 1822, Alexis St. Martin, a Canadian fur trapper, was wounded in his left side by a shotgun blast. When his wound healed, he had a small hole between the stomach and the outside. Dr. William Beaumont, a surgeon, took samples of food from Alexis' stomach through the hole and carried out experiments on the role of digestive juices in digestion. His work has greatly increased our understanding of how food is digested. The rechewed matter is swallowed for the second time. By passing the first 2 chambers, it enters third chamber, the omesum, where food is broken down into still smaller pieces. Excess water is absorbed.
Finally, it enters the fourth chamber, the abomesum, which is the true stomach. Enzymes act upon the food and digestion progresses.